I am so glad to have you joining me here. So, who am I? I'm Ashlea Evans and I will be your coach. After years of interviewing world leaders and top business executives who struggled on camera, I founded The King's Speech. And since 2012, we have been training people, such as yourself, how to be better on camera, how to improve their presentation skills, how to handle a crisis. Now's your opportunity. So let's get started. A question that you might be asking yourself is, why media training? What's the importance of it? Well, Warren Buffett once said, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and just 5 minutes to ruin it. Let's take a moment to reflect on this. I'm pretty sure that your organization and your brand spends a large amount of money on public relations and client relationship building, but it takes just a few seconds to ruin that. It can take one bad interview. It's so important that if you are going to be speaking to the media, that you are prepared. You need to know what your organization's key messages are and what they want to get across in an interview, or whether you're doing a presentation to a group of people. You need to know how to interact with the media. This is what you are going to be learning. How to become a great spokesperson, somebody who can effectively and expertly create intelligent conversation points geared towards your organization's goals and agenda. You're not going to take an interview unless you have an agenda of your own. I want you to sit back for a moment. A reporter's contacted you. They want to interview you on set topic. You can simply comment on that topic, but you're not really doing your brand a good service in simply commenting. What is your agenda? What messages do you want to put across about your organization that's going to promote your brand in that interview? You need to consider what your agenda is and quite simply ask yourself the question, what do you want your audience members to think, do, or feel after your interview? Let's talk about key messages. We recommend that you establish 3 key messages for your interview. Why do we say 3 key messages? Well, the human brain can't remember more than 3 key messages. Otherwise, you're going to data dump on your audience and they're not going to remember anything. If you give them too much information, they freeze, they lose attention, and they check out. So stick to your 3 clear key messages. You have 3 seconds to capture your audience's attention. So you need to ensure that your messages are impactful. Remember that for broadcast, time is money. So you must get your key messages in as early as possible. You run the risk of a reporter perhaps cutting you off. The Media Master first step is the preparation. That is to establish what your agenda is and then what your 3 key messages are. This worksheet is going to guide you. As you can see, there is a beginning, a middle, and an end key message. Under each of those key messages, there is an insights box. This is where you add supporting evidence, facts or stats, or tangible examples that give credibility to that specific key message. And then it's going to draw to the conclusion. And your conclusion lines up with what your agenda is. What do you want your audience members to walk away with thinking, feeling, or doing? Once you have the structure, the first step of the Media Master method, you are going to be much more successful in your interactions. So you've got that key message, but how do you get it into your interview? Well, a reporter asks you a question. You answer the reporter's question, and then you bridge to a key message, which gives the reporter a place to go next. So this is somewhat of an evolution of your interview process, and this ensures that your interview follows your agenda. It's very important that you understand that you have to take control in an interview. Don't let the reporter lead the way. You should guide the interview with the information that you share, giving the reporter a place to go next in your interview. Let's look at some bridging examples. There are simple phrases that create an introduction to your key message. Let's say the reporter asks you a question. You briefly answer it, but you change the direction of the interview by bridging to your key message, by saying, "Let me add," or "What we're really talking about here is." Now for the next step, step 2 of the Media Master Method, storytelling. According to Forbes, when facts are presented in the form of a story, people are 22 times more likely to remember them. Now, don't you want that sort of impact on your audience? Storytelling makes you human. It makes people bond with you. So what is the art of storytelling? It's imagination, using every word and image to help create a clear picture in your audience members' minds. It's visuals, using visuals to supplement the story. It's providing sensory details using all 5 senses. It's using precise verbs and nouns and vivid adjectives, providing short but effective descriptions. Storytelling is an extremely powerful tool. We've been using it for the past 100,000 years when human language was developed and knowledge was passed from generation to generation through cave paintings and fireside stories. What a lot of you might not know about me is when I went off to university, I in fact went to study written journalism. I had no intention to be in front of the camera. And in my freshman year of college, a veteran TV anchor, Jim Brosmer, he approached me and said, "Why don't you take my broadcast performance class?" So I did. And there I was in the Lynn Nightly News Studios, where they broadcast the news to our university live every night. And I was placed on camera, and I had to read the news through an auto cue, and I was terrible. My eyes were huge and darted everywhere. My lips did something odd. My voice was high-pitched and squeaky. And I immediately thought that broadcasting most certainly isn't for me. But Jim came to me and said, "I've got some homework for you. I want you to go away and choose somebody who you truly admire, somebody you think is fantastic on camera, a great reporter, someone who you'd like to be. And I want you to study the different elements that make them who they are. I want you to look at their body language, the way they hold themselves, their hand gestures, the way that they speak, the words they choose, the rate at which they speak, what they wear, how they look. And next time you come into this news studio, I want you to pretend to be that person." So off I went, and I chose Christian Amanpour, the CNN anchor. And I studied hours of her interviews. And next time I came into that studio, I was Christian Amanpour. And I dressed like her, and I spoke like her, and I sat like she sat on camera. And I delivered an incredible performance. But when I watched that replay, I realized that I wasn't Christian Amanpour. I was in fact the most true version of myself. I was me, without all the inhibitions and the fears. And I realized that I, in fact, could succeed at being in front of the lens. And so my homework for you is for you to go away and choose somebody who you truly admire. Someone who is impressive on stage, great on camera, charismatic, confident. And I want you to study that person. Study all the elements that make them who they are. And next time you walk into that studio, you walk onto that stage, you walk into that meeting or into that event, I want you to pretend to be that person. Because in so doing, you in fact are going to be the most true version of yourself. It goes without saying that knowing the theory behind the Media Master Method is imperative to your success. But the practical side is important too. You have to practice what you've learned. So sign up for our one-on-one live coaching. I'm going to be by your side, guiding you through your Media Master journey. You want to be prepared. What questions are they going to ask you? How are you going to respond? Who's going to give you that confidence pep talk, support you and guide you through it? I'm just a click away. Master your confidence. Master your life.